So I was cleaning out my closet when I came across an orange jumpsuit, and I immediately thought, I'm gonna blow up the Death Star. So today, I'm making an X-Wing flight suit. For this build, you'll need a jumpsuit, boots, gloves, a wife beater, that can't be politically correct, tank top, yeah, scrap foam, craft foam, a Sharpie, silver rubbing buff, hot glue, white duct tape, rope, cardboard, safety pins, straps, a hose, a helmet, paint, a sharpening stone, a respirator mask, goggles, a rotary tool, scissors, razor pens, or a box cutter. First, I started the process of cleaning up and repainting my replica Ray helmet. There's a link to that build below and at the end of the video. I filled the problem areas, sanded them down, coated the whole thing in white primer, and set it to dry. Next, I took a pair of Zorro gloves and began removing the pattern with paint thinner. When I realized that was going to take 9 freaking hours, I just painted over it with black acrylic. I set those to dry and began work on the chest box. You can get measurements from Google, but a lot of these in Star Wars are mismatching, so, you can apply some creative liberty to it. In order to get clean seams, you have to remove the pattern on the back of the foam. This is easiest with a crazy sharp knife. Build up the walls of the box. When the walls are complete, add loops for the straps. I cut a rough hole in the bottom for the hose, and then notches for the notches. I put a piece of foam behind them and then heat sealed the whole thing with a heat gun. Then I painted it with light gray primer and then did some light weathering on the helmet. I just noticed another flaw in this helmet that you can only see from like 2 angles. See? Eventually, over the years, it'll become closer and closer to being accurate. Paint all the designs and let it dry. I used painter's tape to make the pattern. The paint scheme is supposed to be a cross between Luke and Biggs. When the control box is dry, begin attaching details. All the buttons and details can be made with craft foam. If you go that route, then you don't even have to paint them. You don't have to do this exactly how I'm doing it. Stuff in Star Wars is mismatched all the time, whether it be from continuity errors or on purpose, because it's a lived-in universe. So if you make a mistake or if you do something different, it's not the end of the world. The switches were carved from foam, like everything I make. The middle one I left blank and glued on. The other 2 I painted white and left to dry. I used random hardware for the metallic details. The parts I'm assembling now go in the side pocket. Okay, so everyone in Star Wars has these pens in their pockets, but nobody writes anything. So they're probably supposed to be some kind of sci-fi nonsense. Anyway, I made them out of sponge brush handles and chopsticks. I painted those silver and left them to dry. There's a lot of waiting for paint to dry in this build. When the helmet is dry, make the chin strap out of cardboard and duct tape, as well as old backpack straps. For the microphone, I cut a section of pipe insulation. I used more straps for the control box belts. I attached a hose, and then the white switches, now that they're dry. There are red dots on the switches, so I added those with Sharpie. Okay, so this jumpsuit I found at an Army-Navy store for 15 bucks. If you bought your jumpsuit secondhand like I did, it may come with patches or reflective tape. You can easily remove those with a seam ripper. I'm gonna leave mine on for now, because they simulate the loops of the gray harness, which I don't currently have. Now for the vest. I took the web tank top, turned it inside out, put it on, folded it up, pinned it in place, put some cardboard in it, took it off, cut between 24 and 30 lengths of tape and lengths of rope, set the rope in the tape, and then applied them to the vest. This is a technique that I picked up from an early Indie Mogul video to make spacesuits look more realistic. The hose is supposed to connect to the suit via an oxygen port on the side. Instead of doing that, I just added a strap so that I could safety pin it under the vest. Make sure everything fits, put it all together, and hang on. Alright, now you're ready for a rebellion. Hey, thanks for watching everyone. If you like this video, here's some other builds you may like. Links and annotations or cards if you're on a mobile device. If you really like this video, then you can support the channel via Patreon, but there's no pressure. Alright, Jake out. Yeah, so this is like 1 week of not shaving, which is why I need the hair and makeup department